Rise and shine, 5:30. Good Monday morning. Hope you had a good weekend. This is Breakfast Television. We'll have your weather forecast for the week ahead with Russ LeCay coming up in just a moment, and Thor Diakow with a look at the roads as well. First, homicide investigators have spent the night in Surrey. They've taken over the scene of a deadly shooting in a Cloverdale neighborhood this morning. Crews were called to 166th Street and 64th Avenue at around 11:30 last night after getting several reports of shots being fired in the area. One man is believed to be dead, but officers are not yet saying if they think this was targeted. So far, it doesn't appear this incident is related to a series of shootings stemming from an ongoing turf war. Police are still looking for witnesses. Police are investigating a drive-by shooting at this bakery in Surrey from over the weekend. Gunshots were heard early Sunday morning at the Cobb's Bread location on 188th Street, just off the Fraser Highway. One bullet went through the window, but thankfully missed the baker who was working inside at the time. Police say the shooting appears to have been random. RCMP are issuing a warning after two elderly women were robbed in North Vancouver. Both cases took place in the Central Lonsdale corridor in the past week. Police say the women were approached by a man who either pretended to be sick or needed to work in their home. He later took their money. One of the victims was assaulted but was not injured. The suspect is described as Caucasian, in his 50s, slim-build, clean-shaven, and he also walked with a cane. Well, the battle to get an upper hand on the province's wildfire situation continues this morning, and the season could be one of the worst on record. Cooler temperatures and scattered showers over the weekend have certainly helped conditions, but the shift in weather has also triggered new wildfires. There are currently more than 250 wildfires burning in BC. Almost 50 new fires broke out on Saturday alone, and almost all of them were caused by lightning. An aggressive wildfire in BC's Caribou region that destroyed several homes is now 30% contained. 52 firefighters from Australia are expected to arrive later today to help BC fire crews. More than 1,000 wildfires have ignited across the province so far this year, with around 280,000 hectares of land being burned.
Ensure that people aren't getting complacent as a result of this rain. We've had in some cases unprecedented temperatures and conditions across the last 2 to 3 weeks, so a few days of rain isn't necessarily going to hit the reset button on that.
Even though the iconic Martin Mars water bomber is now ready for action, it hasn't yet been called upon because the attack on fires over the weekend has been primarily from the ground. The province signed a one-month contract to get the water bomber back into action. Despite its limitations, the BC Wildfire Service says it's useful to have the aircraft available given the current fire situation.
Everybody's anxious. Everybody's here. Everybody's giving up their vacations to get here to get this thing up in the air.
Meantime, air quality advisories in Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley have officially ended due to the change in weather patterns and improved air quality. Advisories were also lifted for the Sea to Sky corridor and the Sunshine Coast over the weekend. However, a smoky skies advisory remains in effect for northeastern BC and most of the southern interior. Well, a showdown could be looming as MLAs return to the BC legislature in Victoria this morning to debate a bill that could pave the way for a $36 billion LNG plant near Prince Rupert. The Liberals want to ratify the project development agreement between BC and Pacific Northwest LNG, a joint venture backed by Malaysian state energy giant Petronas. The bill would also allow future agreements on other potential LNG deals. It includes granting the LNG industry a 25-year tax freeze, which is something the NDP is expected to oppose. On Saturday, dozens of boats gathered in Howe Sound to protest a proposed LNG export terminal in Squamish. Demonstrators say the proposed tanker route would undermine all the work done to clean up industrial pollution in Howe Sound and endanger whales and dolphins, which have recently returned to the area. But the company behind the plant says it has never had a major incident in 50 years of operations. The Transportation Safety Board has been sent to Fraser Surrey docks after a fire broke out on board a container ship. Flames broke out inside the ship's generator room after the vessel had finished unloading. There was minor damage to the ship. No one was injured. The vessel will remain berthed until it has been inspected and is cleared for travel. Well, permission granted. Vancouver's first cat cafe, or catfe as we're calling it, is one step closer to becoming a reality. Cat sitter, cat photographer, and entrepreneur Michelle Bacher, this is real, says the City of Vancouver has approved her permit application. Construction renovations set to begin within the next couple of weeks. She's also teamed up with the Vancouver Orphan Kitten Rescue Association, who will supply the cats in need of a forever home. Furbacher says Cat Faye will be located in the International Village in Vancouver. That's located at 88 West Pender Street.